This is my sourdough journey. It's taken me weeks to finally get a good sourdough starter. I have two of them. I have this one that I started. This is the oldest one. And I keep it in the fridge now. I've used it twice already. I'm still trying to figure out the best recipes to use. And I don't think my starter is as strong as those that are started with either the wheat flour or the rye flour. But, I just had all-purpose flour. That's what I started with. And so I'm making a batch today, and I've just put in 1 cup of starter, 1 cup of warm water, and 1.5 cups of flour. And I'm going to let it set and, kind of build up the starter, build up the yeast growing, and let it set for about a half hour. I see some bubbles in it, just a few, which is good. It's the indication that the starter, I took this, because I keep my starter in the fridge now that it is going, it's active. I keep it in the fridge because I don't bake every day. I'm not a big baker. There's just 2 of us in the house. We can only eat so much bread. And I also use it in my cakes. I did make a pineapple upside down cake, which was good. But since I don't use it every day, I keep it in the fridge. And in order to use it, I take out what I need, what I think I'm going to need to bake the night before, and I let that set out to room temperature. And this time I didn't feed it. Last time I fed my starter the night before. I took, what I thought I'd need. I added 1/4 cup of flour to it because the dough was a little, it wasn't stiff. It was a little runnier. So I put 1/4 cup of flour in it and let that set overnight, let it feed overnight. And then I used it the next day, and I did get a pretty good rise out of my bread. Last night, I didn't feed it because it looked really active still. Even though it was in the fridge, it had plenty of bubbles. I just took a cup out last night, or more like 3/4 of a cup. And then this morning when I woke up, it had risen a little. So it was active, and it was nice and bubbly. So I didn't have to feed it this morning, or at least I didn't feed it this morning. I am letting it set for a little while with just the water and the flour. So I'll let that set for a half hour, and then I will start with the recipe. I got so many recipes off of the internet. So I wrote it down. I try to use the one with the honey, the olive oil. I might add some garlic into this a little bit, a little more seasoning into this loaf. We'll see. But I still have some remnants of the first 2 batches that I made. And as you see, it didn't rise very well. I didn't make it like a traditional sourdough. I'm making the loaves. I find that me and my husband use like a sandwich loaf better than we'll use the actual round, plump sourdough that you use in the Dutch oven. I'm going to try one of those someday, just not ready to do it yet. I'm still working on just the loaves. And that one, and I butter mine on the top. I don't like a crusty loaf. So I do butter mine, make it soft. This one came out a little bit better. It had a little more rise to it than the other one, but still wasn't as good as my last batch, which of course is gone because it was delicious. Okay, I've waited a half hour. Just let it rest for a little bit. I see some bubbles. See some of the bubbles in there? The yeast working. So now we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to put about 5 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons salt, 1.5 cups milk, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and just a little bit of garlic blend. I have a garlic blend seasoning. I'm going to put that in there. Okay. So I have put in the remaining ingredients that we'll need, which is 5 cups of flour, the 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 2 tablespoons of honey. I used garlic salt, so I put in 2 teaspoons of garlic salt. And I also wanted to give it a little more of the herbs, so I put in some salt, pepper, garlic seasoning that I had. So we'll mix all of this together, and then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, we got it all mixed together. It came together in a perfect little sticky dough ball. It is a wet flour. It is a wet dough mixture. So I'm going to let it set for maybe 2 hours. I just want it to now relax a little bit and come together. And then we're going to start our folds. And we're going to do from 4 to 6 folds. And we're going to do them every half hour. So I will bring you back when we do that. But now I'm going to cover it, let it rest. Okay, it's been about 2 hours. We've just let the dough sit and rest. And as you can see, it has relaxed and it's gotten a little bit bigger. So what we're going to do now is start our series of folds. And in order to do that, I need to wet my hands. I think what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of cooking spray, a cooking oil on them. And then I'll do the folds. Okay, I have my hand oiled. All I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling the dough up and bring it over. And I'm just going to go around the pan, and I should have a scraper, but I don't. I'm just going to pull it up and over. And this is just getting your gluten. It's getting your gluten activated. It's getting the gluten working in the bread. Pull it up and over. And I'm trying to do this with one hand and holding the camera with the other hand. And over. And we're almost done. Last side. I'm going to pull it up and over. Okay. And that's all we're going to do. Just going to put it back into its little ball shape. It's really sticky right now. And that's our first fold. And then we'll come back in a half hour and we'll do the second fold. Okay, here is the fourth fold. Let's get it ready. Pull up and over. I can't keep it. It's gotten much more structure now, that's for sure. Pull up and over. It keeps together pretty good. I think this is going to be our last fold. Pull up and over. Grab a hold of it. Pull it over. Do one more. Up and over. Okay. It's really come together now, so I don't think we're going to need to do any more folds. I think now what we're going to do is we're going to put it out, put on some flour, give it some shape, and then we're going to set it aside for a few hours now and let it rise. Okay, I'm going to put some flour down. Spread some flour out here. Gonna get our dough. We're gonna let the dough fall out. That's pretty heavy. It's pretty good. We just got some to pull out here. Get the rest of this. That's at the bottom. Little bits so that we can put all of it on. Okay, here we go. Set that aside. Just gonna do some more folds. We're just kind of shaping it. What we want to do is get it into just a little more of a structure. Make a little ball, and then we're going to put it in the pan. And then the next step is we're going to let it rise for probably 4+ hours until it doubles. That's what we're looking for now. So let me get my pan ready, and then we'll put it in the pan and get it ready. We have a clean bowl, and now what I want to do is we want our dough to be able to rise. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some flour in here because I don't want the dough to stick. And this probably isn't going to work that well because we may have to use some olive oil around the sides because I don't want my dough to stick. So what we're looking for here what we're looking for is we want to turn it into kind of like a round ball. You know, you've seen those balls they make your dough in the shape of a ball. Got a gnat in there. So that's what we want to do. We want to have like a round shape. Here we go. Let me put it. We got it in the bowl.
I'm thinking about doing this too.
And we've got plenty of flour in the bowl. That'll hopefully help it from not sticking to the sides as it rises, because we want it to double. So I'm going to set it over here. I'm going to put some saran wrap on it, and then we'll let it rise probably about 4 hours, and then I'll see you back then.
Do I need to be quiet?
All right, it's been about 4 hours, and we have got quite a rise on the bread dough. It's looking really good. So now, I think they say what you do to tell if it's good is you punch it, you poke it, and if it doesn't come back all the way, it's good. So we're gonna leave it at that. So let's bring it over here. Bring it to our counter. We're going to, let me set this up. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put down some flour. Just a little bit. So what we're going to have to do is take the dough out. And divide it. Let it fall again. Oh, lovely. Just a few little bits. Just a few. That looks like it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to divide it in half. And it might make more than 2 loaves. Let's try this. Let's divide it in half. And see what kind of loaf we're going to come up with. I need more flour on my... I need some more flour on my cover here. I don't want this one to stick. Okay, let's put that over there. Put this one aside. And we're going to shape this. And we want a rectangle. Because we want to bring it in by a third. And then by a third, and then we're going to roll it. Gonna roll, and that's a pretty big, it's a pretty nice loaf. I think it might be too big. I think we're going to do 3 loaves. Let's redo this. A little bit off of here, and we'll take a little bit off of the other one. There we go. And separate this out a little bit more. Make sure that we have plenty of flour. Get our rectangle. Fold over, and then we want to roll. Roll a nice loaf. I don't think that's going to be a perfect loaf, but we're going to go with this one. I'm going to put it in the pan, and then we'll do the next one. Add some more flour. And then we'll make a mess. That's just how it goes. Just how it goes. Let's take this. We're going to have to squish it together a little bit. And count into a rectangle. Just a bit of a rectangle. Okay, let's fold it in. Fold it in. Turn it over. Roll it up. Not perfect, but we'll see how it comes out. Put it in there. And then that leaves us with our last one. Just quite a bit of dough. This will probably be our best one yet. Fold, fold, and shape. Top goes under. There we go. 3 loaves. Hey everyone, we're back. They have risen. They've filled out. They're going to rise more in the oven. What we need to do now is I put my oven to 400. It's... oh, the timer's on there. Okay. We put it to 400. Now we need to score the top of the bread. Because the last time I made it, I didn't cut the bread on top enough. So it kind of split the side open. I'd like to score it on the top so that when it rises and it has that crust on it, can't get that off there, it will split in the middle and kind of rise and get crusty from the top and not on the side. So let's see. I don't know if I have a good knife to do that with. Let's try this one. We're just gonna score it right down the middle. I just want to get it good and deep enough so that it does allow our dough to keep rising in the oven. So let's see how that does. Okay, I'm gonna put them in the oven for 30 minutes. Let's put that down here. That one goes in. This one goes in. We'll set the timer for 30 minutes. Go. And I'll check back with you when they're ready. Okay. Let's see what our bread is doing. Ah. Oh, it looks good. Nice and brown. But look on the side. It's like it busts on the side instead of on the top. Although I have my little cut, I don't think it was deep enough. I think it needs to be better. I need to get myself one of those razor blades, perhaps. This one wasn't as bad, but it did, didn't bust through the top like I wanted it to. But it looks intact on the sides. A little open there on the end. But overall, I think they turned out pretty good. Pretty nice. Pretty nice loaves of sourdough bread. And we started this morning at about 9 o'clock. It is now 10 o'clock at night.